Dallas Cup 30 is underway. It's Sao Paulo and the Dallas Texans Reds squaring off in this opening day match. I'm Pete Stein along with Sam Irwin. Glad you could be with us. It should be a great Dallas Cup. This is an event that annually delivers. This is action out of Bracket B in the Super Group. And Sao Paulo, of course, won this title 2 years ago in 2006. The Texans won, so we've got two teams here with a little pedigree.
Yeah, I think it's just an interesting matchup to be able to see a team from North Texas, who's one of the major contenders in the U.S., go against this powerhouse internationally.
The Texans, when they won this in 2006, became the third American team to win the Dallas Cup Super Group. The Texans in red, and that's Ben Hill, who got a foot on it, but is unable to track it down, and it's played back to Everson Pierce, the Sao Paulo keeper, who quickly gets it into Texans territory. Sao Paulo controls. Santos on the ball. Nice save early on from John Kashik.
That's good reactions right there by Kashik to be able to get those hands up and save the ball from going into the net.
Volley that time from Lucas Gonçalves, taking that early opportunity. And it's Sao Paulo who has the first best chance, but we're still scoreless. We've played nearly 2 minutes of the first half. Sao Paulo controlling in the midfield, tripping the call, and it'll give Sao Paulo a free kick in the midfield.
So far, it looks like Sao Paulo is going to be in a 3-4-3, while the Texans are going to be playing a 4-4-2.
Texans unable to get Gonçalves off the ball. In the corner now is Macon Silva. Texans intercept. Stealing it away is Anderson.
Right now, Sao Paulo is going to be playing with the wind as the wind's coming out of the north.
The wind coming out of the northwest at 24 to 44 miles an hour. Some heavy gusts today, and the wind is going to be a factor, Sam.
Yeah, especially down there in the field. This is a bowl, so the wind's swirling down there, especially if we're going to be where the Sao Paulo keeper is right now.
Santos' 19-yard effort with the left foot sails high, and the wind may have played havoc with that shot as well. It'll give the Texans a goal kick. John Kashik in goal for Dallas Texans Red. David Hudgill is the head coach. Marcus Vazzoli is leading Sao Paulo FC into Dallas Cup. You hear that wind cutting through our microphones. See how it affects this goal kick. Kashik kicking into the wind, managed to get it out to midfield. Santos has it on the right side. One touch into the area, headed away by the Texans defense. Santos on the ball again on the near side. Tightly marked, weaves his way through traffic. One touch pass, misguided. But it's still Silva with control for Sao Paulo until it's out of play over the end line.
It's going to be a corner that time for Sao Paulo. That looked like number 8 for the Texans. That's Trey Anderson, who just got the foot on it, trying to deny it, so went over the end line for a corner kick.
Anderson's been active early on. Rafael Tavares taking this corner kick. Plays it short. Now into the area on the ground and cleared out. Trying to center that was Macon Silva. In the midfield, Fomagoni plays it to the left side. Foul called, free kick for Sao Paulo.
It was a little touch foul that time. I wasn't sure about that call, but Sao Paulo got, so they're going to have a dangerous free kick now. So they're going to have the wind behind them. They're going to be able to go right at this goal.
Coming over to play the ball is Macon Silva. He's got 6 targets inside the box. Gonçalves, the most active of those targets. It's kept on the ground, back-heeled, and a goal! And Sao Paulo takes a 1-0 lead. Well, you said it was going to be a golden opportunity for Sao Paulo, and they cashed in.
That's really just poor marking that time by the Texans. It was a good play by Sao Paulo to put that one on the ground, but it looks like he was looking for a tip as we look at the replay. That ball just makes it all the way through the 18-yard box and the 6-yard box without being touched.
I think it was, did Tavares get a foot on it, or did it go clean through?
It looked to me like it got clean through, but even if he did get a foot on it, it's just a nice play. But Texans, you have to get a foot on it there to try to clear it when it's just rolling.
For now, we'll give Macon Silva credit for the goal, and Sao Paulo with a 1-0 lead. We've played nearly 6 minutes of the first half, 45-minute halves in the super group. Each team is allowed 6 substitutions, and having to play 3 games in 4 days, we may see both teams use all 6 substitutions here on the opening day.
I think right now Sao Paulo's doing a really good job of just playing and not trying to go over the top. Since they do have the wind behind them, they could just play it over the top and play kickball, as they call it all game, but really keeping possession has worked out for them well.
The Texans have spent most of the first 6.5 minutes in their own end of the field. They really haven't been able to mount any kind of offensive attack so far. Sao Paulo dominating time of possession, and they have the 1-0 lead off the free kick. And they had another opportunity just prior to that they couldn't cash in on. The throw in, and the Texans unable to advance it. Silva pushes it up the near touchline. Nice backheel pass from Gonsalves. On a give and go, Gonsalves can't get to it in the corner. It'll be a goal kick for Dallas Texans Red, who have fallen behind early 1-0.
You saw on that touch, that ball just took off on Sao Paulo down the line. This grass is cut so short and it's so firm out there that anything that you kick is just going to take off on you, especially with the wind behind you.
The Texans would like to find Ben Hill, number 21. Big offensive threat. So far, it's been their defense that's really had the only touches. There's a nice one-touch pass by Halton. Sao Paulo wins it back, but a nice header there by Petrick. Unfortunately, the Texans can't make anything of it. And here comes Sao Paulo. In the midfield for Sao Paulo, it's Fumagoni. Pushed up the left side for Santos. Santos tightly marked from the 18. He'll take a shot, didn't get all of that one, and it's scooped up by Kashik. Played just over 8 minutes now. Sao Paulo with a 1-0 lead. Whistle and a foul. It'll be a free kick for Sao Paulo.
Right off the bat, these referees are calling this game very close. I'm not sure whether or not that's just their style of refereeing or whether or not they're trying to keep this game clean for the most part.
Well, DallasCup always very proud of the teams that they bring into Dallas, but also very proud of the officials that they bring here. They feel like they've got world-class officials arbitrating these games.
Exactly, and these referees are used to refereeing big games, so this is nothing new to them.
Sao Paulo with the early lead as we approach the 10th minute of play. Sao Paulo now really spreading out the field, spreading out the Texans, but methodically moving the ball upfield. Swung out wide now for Silva. Unable to keep it in play is Gonsalves. And it'll be a throw in for the Dallas Texans red side. Anderson with a throw in. Well, I don't know if Ben Hill's had a touch yet. Just haven't been able to find him as Gonsalves heads it. Kashik fields it on a hop. Not much action for the Texans forwards here early on. This ball's won by Silva in the midfield for Sao Paulo. Looking for Santos, it's intercepted. Nice play there by Jared Blanco.
I think the story of this game so far is that Sao Paulo's midfield is just going out there and beating the Texans midfield. You can see they have all that possession. They're using mainly the midfield for that.
Gonsalves in space for Silva, crosses it back, and making the catch, it's Kashik. That was a dangerous play.
It's like now they're going to say that that cross went over the end line before it came back in.
So it will be a goal kick. Look at what the wind's doing to that ball, just blowing it right back toward Kashik. Now the wind catches this one, and it's just ballooning up there before the Texans can control it.
I think that was Ben Hill coming back for his first touch, just bringing down a goal kick.
This is De La Rosa on the right side, trying to weave his way through traffic. Finds Petrick, and it's out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Sao Paulo.
Actually looks like they're going to call him offsides on that. Oh.
Flag was up.
Yep, they are going to call the Texans player offsides on that part.
And a restart for Sao Paulo. In the 12th minute of play, 1-0 Sao Paulo with the lead. Hill makes the effort on the sliding tackle, but can't come up with the ball. To Silva on the near side. Now played up the middle, one-touch pass. Silva with the chest trap, knocks it down, being marked by Stephen Haltom. And Haltom trips him up, and the foul is called.
Stephen Haltom, as we see this replay here, just goes ahead and gets that back foot, it looks like, of the Sao Paulo player. But him and Ben Hill are teammates in the high school ranks as they both play for Capel.
One of the Metroplex soccer powerhouses.
They're making a deep run of the playoffs of their own right now as a high school team.
Once again, the ball goes out of play here on a windy, cool afternoon.
And these corners on this end are going to be the most dangerous because those end swingers can really get a big bend on them. Last time Sao Paulo had a corner, they went ahead and played it short. Doesn't look like they have anyone showing over there right now. So I would expect a big swinger in.
I'm surprised they're not playing this short. Silva finds a man just outside the box. There's a cross to the far post, hits the back of a Texans defender, and is scooped up by Kashik.
Well, we both thought that they should play it short, and they did playing it short. It almost worked out well for them.
Played it to Rafael Tavares, and Tavares with a nice cross, and the Texans were fortunate to avoid any damage there. In the midfield, Peyton Decker. De La Rosa sweeps it forward up the right sideline. The Texans unable to control.
This game's been all Sao Paulo so far. I have them down for 4 shots on goal and 2 corners, and Texans haven't got anything so far.
I don't think the Texans have even had possession in the offensive third, have they?
I don't think they have either. I'm not even sure if they've had possession on their half of the field.
Not for any length of time, not to speak of. Certainly haven't had any chances to speak of, as we've completed 14 minutes of play. Hill applying the pressure for Texans red. Sao Paulo playing a very deliberate style with a 1-0 lead. Santos along that 4-man back line. Now they start to push forward. Chip to the Texans half, knocked down by Fomagoni. Now Silva as they switch it to the right side. Silva marked by Stephen Haltom. Another quick switch to the left side. Pushing it forward is Bittencourt. Bittencourt at the 18, looking for room to shoot, but tightly marked. Swings it to Silva. Silva with a nice move to the top of the 18 where he fires and scores. A rocket right footer has given Sao Paulo a 2-0 lead, and we've played 15 minutes at Pizza Hut Park.
And what a shot by Silva that time to keep it low under the wind, but got a good bend to the right just to tuck it into that far corner.
Macon Silva with his second goal.
Again, that's just a beautiful shot using the outside of his right foot to bend it back in.
Sao Paulo with a 2-0 lead, and now the Texans desperate to get something going.
The goal in the 16th minute for São Paulo FC, number 2, Macon Silva.
Texans starting to show a little bit of teamwork here in the midfield to push it forward, send up the right side. And it is out of play before De La Rosa can make a play on it.
You can definitely tell the difference of these two teams so far. Every time the Texans get the ball, they're going to try to play down the wings far and let their players run under it. And then Sao Paulo's been really patient, using their back line and using their midfield to build that way.
Here's a missed touch by Santos. See if the Texans can't put some pressure on here and make him pay. Unable to do so. Headed down by Anderson, though. Now headed forward. Anderson chases it as it goes into touch. It'll be a throw in for Sao Paulo. Macon Silva will throw it into play. Gets it out toward midfield. Headed down by Jared Blanco of the Texans. On the right foot of Jose Silva, switches it to the left side. Sao Paulo starting to build the attack through the midfield. This is Bittencourt. Bittencourt taking his time as they move to the edge of the attacking third. Gonzalez with a nice give and go. Bittencourt centers it to the 6-yard box. Deflected out wide. And that ball will stay in play for Sao Paulo. Silva has it and is taken down by Stephen Haltom, and that draws the whistle. It'll be a free kick for Sao Paulo and another great opportunity for the Brazilian side. Bruno Años setting up the free kick. The Texans set up just a 2-man wall at the top of the 18. Años has to reset the ball after it's wind blown back toward him. Años with the left foot swings it in. It's headed over the goal.
And what a good free kick taken that time by Salvo. Kept it low and drove it. Let the wind kind of take it towards the goal and was just headed over by the Texans player. Good job to try to clear it, but just a nice free kick taken that time.
So Sao Paulo will have a corner kick. Macon Silva. They've played it short with the corners on their previous attempts. This one to the 6-yard box, cleared, but up to the top of the D, and another strike from distance, and another goal for Sao Paulo. They now lead 3-0.
Sao Paulo's just on fire right now, so we're going to have to look at that replay. What a job to keep this ball low and just shoot a rocket into the top corner, upper 90 time.
O'Neal dos Santos. Excuse me, the goal was scored that time by Bruno Años. Bruno Años, the goal scorer.
Right now, Sao Paulo has 6 shots on goal, and they have 3 goals. Very efficient so far.
So Sao Paulo in firm control of this game now. And remember, as we go through the bracket here and pool play, that goal differential will be a tiebreaker. So even though the Texans may not have much of a chance of winning this game, they still need to close the margin as best they can.
And I think if you're the Texans right now, you can't panic, because in the second half you are going to have the wind with you, so you can put a lot more pressure there. I'm not sure if you can get the 3 goals, but you can at least get some goals, and you have to worry about that.
How much factor has the wind been?
I think the wind has been a huge factor so far. As you see, the Texans, they can't even get the ball in the Sao Paulo half. Now, that may be because their style of play or something else, but I think that every ball that goes into the air somehow is going to be favored to you, and you always get the bounces towards the goal. And you can put a lot more momentum on the balls you shoot and keep them a lot lower with the wind instead of having a balloon against.
It seems like The Sao Paulo side is the much more skilled side here through the first 20 minutes of play, but it will be interesting once we switch sides here for the second half to see if the momentum of this game changes with a win. Played into the area and cleared into safety. It looked like maybe Decker could have made a better play than that. I think he had more time and space than he realized.
And you say the Sao Paulo team is probably more skilled, in which they probably are, but I think they're also a lot more disciplined team at this point, where they'll get the ball, they don't panic, as you saw earlier in the game, where one of the defenders misplayed one, he settled down, was able to clear it out of his end and be able to play out of it, and the Texans just seem to be scrambling.
Tavares puts it inside the 6-yard box, and that is another goal. It is 4-0, Sao Paulo.
And that one was just unlucky for the Texans. It looked like it deflected off of a couple players. It may even deflected off of a Texans player as we get a look.
Here's our first look at this goal, as Tavares just put it in the mixer, and it just deflects around into the side netting.
With this one, we may be able to see who gets the deflection. Couldn't get the number, but it was a Sao Paulo player, so